Jump into things. Hope you guys have enjoyed this tournament, by the way. Please do give us some feedback on Twitter, of course. I am at Kevinaki. He is at Gosudoa.
That's right.
So,
tweet at us. Let us know what map is your favorite, actually, for this tournament. I'm curious to see what map people are really excited to see. But go ahead and introduce our players, Kevin.
Oh, I will. Here at the 12 o'clock position, we have, and it's so weird because my mind is telling me I'm seeing Shattered Temple right now, but we'll get to some differences here in a second.
Oh, it's Lost Temple now.
It is. Of Lost Temple is our red Protoss player, representative of Infinity 7. It is Axslav. And his opponent down at the 6 o'clock position, our Teal Terran player from Team Dignitas. It is SeleCT.
You know, and I got to say again, I'm so glad that we're getting to do this tournament because, you know, there's lots of serious tournaments in StarCraft 2, and that's great and everything like that. It's fun to see the high-level play, but I love so much that, you know, IPL's willing to just kind of say, hey, let's just have a tournament and have fun, right? I mean, because that's the real point of why we all watch and play StarCraft 2. It's to have fun, right? So I'm glad we can have a tournament that's just kind of like focused on that. You know, it's quite cool. But now, I wanted to say, too, I got a chance to actually talk to SeleCT and Axslav before the match, and SeleCT understandably said he was going to be expecting a lot of all-ins, but he also said that it was going to be a lot of fun. He was looking forward to playing in this, and he was actually a little bit worried about facing Axslav. He said, I think he's going to think of some really smart strategies to do on these maps, and Game 1 was certainly indicative of that. Axslav actually is looking to play on Jungle Base and Blistering Sands. Those are the maps he feels the most confident on.
Okay.
Now, SeleCT did veto Blistering Sands, so we're not going to see that one in this match. But it just goes to show, you know, both these guys know what the best maps for each other are, really, it seems like.
In fact, Axslav already said at the beginning, he was like, you can't veto that map.
That's right. He's like, no vetoing.
So let's see here now is SeleCT opening with what appears to be a 1 Rax Gasless Effie. Is this the first time in competitive play that Lost Temple has ever seen a 1 Rax Gasless Fast Expand?
I think it is quite possible, yeah.
Ooh.
Let's take a look at the changes, really, or the way things used to be. We have this big ledge behind the natural. This is a bit awkward, right? I mean, if it's TVZ, we saw a lot of Thors dropped on there in the past, very normal. There's
Siege
still
tanks.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's still rocks at the gold base, but the third base is now, or was, and is currently, for this tournament, an island.
Yeah.
That's right.
And actually came into play quite a bit on this map.
It did.
Another thing, too, is that the gold is actually moved up, or is moved back quite a bit, I should say. So it's actually, in contrast to Shattered Temple, not directly accessible by siege tanks and things like that out in front.
Can you take a look at that island again?
Yes, I can.
I just want to double-check something. Yeah, there are... Is that actually... No, go to the mineral patches. I want to see it.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, there's actually 7 mineral patches.
Yes, sir.
On this island. Normally there's 8.
Yeah,
right there.
You are correct.
Interesting. So another little subtle difference that I actually never noticed before about Lost Temple.
And look at this. Second quick gas for Axslav. Is this just going to be... Oh, right. The Robo, once again, he's open with this in both games so far. Went to Immortals in the first one. Now, of course, in contrast to Shattered Temple as well, the middle is considerably different. Just one Xel'Naga Tower on Shattered Temple. Lost Temple, on the other hand, does have 2. They're hidden behind these little ledges, doodads in the middle.
Yeah, that was one of the things about Lost Temple as well, is that the middle is much less open. All the running lanes are very, very narrow. So that's why, you know, you had Zergs kind of struggle on it too. They can't get that surround that they normally would like to do. And it's also something that Protoss can kind of take advantage of with a lot of AoE, a lot of Colossi, things like that. So it's definitely something that SeleCT's going to need to worry about. But this is a great map for SeleCT to do his famous drop play on. You know, he doesn't need to play any sort of old style. As we can see, he's not. He can just go for drops relatively quickly, get a good economy going, and try to just overwhelm Axslav by just attacking on a bunch of multiple fronts at once.
And look at this. Axslav ending up going with a Warp Prism to start things off from his robotics facility. So, yeah, I thought this would just be a pretty typical Sentry Observer expand, something like that, but decides to go for Warp Prism. So Axslav really preparing for this tournament, bringing some cool strategies.
No kidding. Well, he's like the type of guy to prepare like weird strategies just for this specific occasion too. So that's awesome, man. I mean, we are seeing a Warp Prism expand in TVP, which is something that I certainly don't recall seeing in the past that I can remember. Maybe if I have, it's only been like once, maybe, but this is something that I would say SeleCT is definitely not expecting. He is actually going to Warp Prism onto the cliff outside the natural, too. This is so smart by Axslav to take advantage of the map. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, Axslav. Oh, the Warp Prism taken out. Thankfully, it only had one Stalker in it, but that is not a good start for Axslav.
Yeah.
Oh, and he is lucky, too, because that would have been tough to deal with. You know, what could he have really hit, though, with that Stalker? I think he could have hit
bunker
the gas,
and the
mineral
mineral
line,
patches.
Maybe. Don't think he could quite reach the command center,
No, I don't either. SeleCT has a lot of bio units on the field right now as well. 2 Marauders, 11 Marines already. Worker count pretty consistent between our 2 players because of the Chrono Boost that Axslav was utilizing at the beginning of this game. He's a big proponent of continuing to use that at all points. But this is actually turning into now, despite the early disadvantage because of losing that Warp Prism so quickly, pretty standard game, honestly.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I mean, the difference is that Axslav's Observer is out much later than he would normally want it to be, and he doesn't have like an Immortal or something. Well, he has one, but he doesn't have like multiple Immortals to help him defend, too. So Axslav had a little bit of a disadvantage here. I think he should still have enough to defend, but we'll see how SeleCT does. Ooh, picking off another Stalker on his way into the base as well. So Axslav is going to need to play this very, very safe here.
We'll see if he has enough. He's got to start rallying those units to the low ground. Trapped a little bit by the sentries he was warping in, but it looks like it gives him a pretty good spot to drop down those force fields and a Guardian Shield, not taking a whole lot of damage from those ranged units. Very, very good. Those Marines really not hitting anything yet.
Oh, wow. He's actually killing off quite a few units from SeleCT. He is very sentry heavy. He doesn't have as much damage output. That one Immortal making such a huge difference, and SeleCT is just going to try to focus down as many probes as he can here.
And he gets a couple and one more sentry as well, but overall, very well held by Axslav.
Yeah, not bad. Things turning out fairly even. What's the worker count right now? I'd have to imagine it's pretty even, actually. Yeah, SeleCT even ahead a little bit.
Yeah, very, very nice. And continuing to mule away. Look at that, 4 down at the same time right now, so his income is going to skyrocket. He's producing off of 3 racks. He's producing off of a reactor starport, adding on 2 additional barracks right now. Does he have an engineering bay? No, looks like the first one just coming up.
Well, this is the most standard of standard play from SeleCT right now. Just TVP, just going for drops, getting some strong Marine Marauder medevac composition out. And I wanted to mention as well just some more details about the tournament. Oh, I think he sees the Observer here.
Yes,
is he going to catch it? Where's the scan? No scan. All right. But anyway, the tournament, it's all best of 5s from start to finish, and it is single elimination. So whoever loses is out. There's no second life here, man.
And, yeah, you're absolutely right. And the prize gets bigger for each match. These guys have gained $50 just by playing in the tournament, but, of course, that continues to go up considerably as you move along. And I did check the energy on the orbital commands. There was no scan available, unfortunately. So SeleCT saw it, tried to trigger the scan, but nothing was available.
Yep.
All right, so now taking a look around, Axslav is amassing a pretty decent force and trying to catch up on that pro count, which he has very nearly done. SeleCT still a little bit ahead in economy, though, with those additional mules, and he's adding on his gold base right now.
You know, I'm going to say, too, I feel like Terran versus Protoss is the match that's actually changed the least over the life of StarCraft 2. I mean, we did see some people kind of experimenting around with tanks and things like that in Thor's in the early life of StarCraft 2, but overall, it's been Bio versus Robo from, you know, day one. I mean, it's actually fairly recently, within the last maybe 6 months, that we've really seen Protoss players go for Templar tech much quicker in this matchup as well. So this is one of the matchups that's kind of stood the test of time as far as what players figured out to do kind of early on here. So it's kind of cool to see it played out again in a little bit more polished way. And yeah, look at that. That gas is definitely going to go down. Nice position for those units on the high ground.
That's so good. There is a Colossus in the mix now, so we'll see if Axslav can start rallying back against this. But SeleCT does a little bit of damage for free, gets away without losing a unit. Nice little benefit for him there. 1-1 upgrades on the way for both players. Axslav just a tiny bit behind, but should be able to Chrono Boost and equalize that. The big advantage, though, really, SeleCT has that gold base down now. That's almost finished up. He's already preparing for those gas geysers as well.
Yeah, SeleCT is in a great spot right now. He hasn't really taken a lot of unnecessary losses. He's kind of kept his opponent in his base to a certain extent. He's getting that gold expansion, which is just absolutely huge on this map, because if you don't, you know, the gold expansion is kind of your quote-unquote normal third on this, and if you can't get that, it's going to be very, very difficult to keep up with your opponent here. So Axslav knows he's in a position right now where he needs to make something happen, you know? He has to, but it's tough because he has to defend, and he has to go out and do some damage. Tough to do that on just 2 bases.
All right, looks like he just finished up with Twilight Council, so we'll see if we get some sort of Blink, Charge, anything, if he decides to transition over to Templar at some point as well. There's Blink. Okay, so we will be able to hopefully catch these medevacs.
We'll see.
Eventually, Select decides to get a little overeager with those throughout the rest of the game, but Select's got this pretty well under control right now. His upgrades are looking great. He's working off of 2 reactor starports. He's got the gold right now. Really looking very effective in this game.
He's really starting to pull ahead supply-wise as well. 135 to 109. TVP is one of those matchups so where everything can change in a big fight. Oh, no. Oh, Select, you are so lucky that Blink is not done.
That would have been a lot of dead units there, and Axslav would have been able to get back right into this. And just the threat of that ledge is enough to push Axslav back home right now.
Oh, I know. That ledge was messing people up from day one. I mean, that's why they ended up taking it up. It does kind of present a big problem for a lot of players who decide to, I don't know, expand in their games. And here we go, another big drop from Select coming in.
Yeah.
Axslav a little bit out of position here.
Yes, he is running back all of his units right now. Not a lot of economic damage has been done quite yet, but some may happen here in just a second. A Select running up and around the side, picks off a couple of probes, gonna try and get himself a photon cannon. Oh, and if he can get the Twilight Council before Blink is done, that would be huge.
Oh, no.
It's being chrono boosted, and it's about ready to go down 300, 200, 100, and...
Oh, he gets it. Oh, man, that was close. I thought for a second it was going to live, and you know what? That is just going to absolutely pin Axslav to his base. Without Blink, he just cannot be mobile enough with defensive stalkers to keep track of everything.
Yeah.
And it looks like Select's just going to move out and try to end the game here very soon anyway. A little bit of a ninja expansion from Axslav on the left side of the map, but too little too late maybe.
Yeah, it seems like it. We'll find out, though, as... Oh, we tried to come back in with those medevacs one more time. Got one of those killed and a Marauder on top of that, but...
That's okay. Knows? Everyone knows that Marauders are, like, super imba on these maps, right? So whenever Marauder dies, people are, like, actually happy about it.
Just these maps? All maps, I think you mean.
No. Marauders are much more balanced on the 2 maps.
That's true.
I'm just kidding. People should know by now whenever I joke about something being imba, it is a joke.
That's really?
I actually feel like StarCraft 2 is fairly well balanced overall at the pro level.
Yeah,
I feel like it is
at the pro level. I am not a pro, and so I always try to hesitate from balance discussions and stuff like that because I do not have the experience that the pros do at the highest level. You know, so
what are you saying?
I'm saying that I refrain from talking about balance, and people who do that are, gold, platinum, and bronze, etc.
Afraid?
What's up?
You afraid, Kevin?
I don't know. I guess I am.
I guess you're afraid. Oh, look at that. The Colossi falling so quickly.
Yeah, I mean, even with perfect force fields here, there's nothing that Axslav can do, and he didn't get those perfect force fields either. So.
I think that's going to be about it.
GG!